Hi there, we are Lisa and Chris. Please join us aboard our main ship 390, Cool Beans, as we cruise America's Great Loop. Good morning.
Good morning.
Where did we just leave and where are we going?
We just left Peterborough, Canada, and we are headed to, I believe it's Lakefield.
Yep.
We're looking for, all these locks have walls before and after the lock, and we're looking for a open place on the wall that has electricity.
That's right. And we think Lakefield, well, we know Lakefield does, so we're hoping that there's 3 spots at Lakefield. It's kind of like a game, isn't it? Who can get there first? So it's 7:53. The lock doesn't open for another hour and 15 minutes. But hey, early bird gets the worm.
But what does the early worm get?
Gotten? All right. Did you have fun in Peterborough?
Very nice town. Very nice.
Good. All right. Well, see you later. This was an exciting day for us. We were headed to the highest hydraulic lock in the world, the Peterborough lift lock. It was completed in 1904 and is the highest hydraulic lift lock ever built, with a vertical lift of nearly 65 feet, and is said to be the largest unreinforced concrete structure in the world. So this is how it works. It operates on a balance principle. A constant water pressure supports each ram through connecting pipes below ground. When extra water is let in the upper chamber, a connecting valve is open and the heavier chamber automatically descends, forcing up the lower chamber to start a new cycle and rise. Here are 2 time lapses, one filmed from front and one from behind. It was very cool, but since I'm a little afraid of heights, I could not look down. We had a full day of locks, 7 of them. So by the end of the day, I was exhausted. We were so glad to arrive at Lakefield and have 3 spots ready for us to tie up. We rested and ate dinner, and then it was time for our rock painting party. We had so much fun, and we even had live music to entertain us. Mike, on Strumming Along, played some great tunes. I left my rock at the lock for someone to find and enjoy.
Oh my God, I thought this was literally like a speaker.
Travel day 75. We went 9 nautical miles from Peterborough, Ontario to Lakefield, Ontario. The next morning, up and early to the next lock to wait for the opening, we saw a huge osprey nest on this power line. More locks, and we saw a fellow looper being towed out of the cove. Apparently, they hit a rock coming out of the lock and started taking on water. We hope they can get it fixed and back to looping soon. Arriving at our destination, we buy a little diesel to get us through the rest of Canada. Fun fact, they measure fuel in liters, not gallons. We stayed at the marina where we purchased the fuel. We had all just about had it with our day of locks, so we got a nice covered slip with power. It rained a bit, but after the rain came a beautiful rainbow. Travel Day 76. We went 20 nautical miles from Lakefield, Ontario to Buckhorn, Ontario. Again, as masters of timing, we left at 7 a.m. to be the first to go through the next lock. It was absolutely beautiful on the water. We were a little suspect of this bridge height, but we cleared it just fine. We made it to our destination and had 3 nice spots on the wall. We walked into town back over the lock just to see what the lock looked like from the road. We had a great lunch, had some ice cream, of course, and then back to the boat for a very nice evening. Travel Day 77. We went 14 nautical miles from Buckhorn, Ontario to Bobcaygeon, Ontario. What's your tip of the week?
This week's tip is general preventative maintenance. We're going to check the engine strainer today. We just came up the Trent-Severn. Lots of shallow water, lots of grass and weeds. And our friend Don on Tranquility, he said he just checked his, and he had a big ball of weeds stuck in his. He said it was the size of a baseball. So we're going to open this up real quick and see how ours looks. I don't know if y'all can see that, but we've got some grass and weeds in here about this high. Not bad, but it definitely needs to be cleaned. So we're going to get this clean and reinstall.
Put the flashlight behind it. I think you can see it better. Oh yeah. Yep, you can see it. All right. Great tip. Thanks, Chris and Don.
Lisa got the sea strainer shaken out. All the weeds and grass are gone. Not only do we have this one, we've got one for the AC, which I check on a regular basis. We've got one for the generator, which I check occasionally. We use the generator so rarely. But this simple preventive maintenance, this thing gets clogged, your engine gets no water and overheats, and you've got big problems.
The next morning, we were delayed just a bit due to fog. Once it cleared, we headed out into the beautiful Sturgeon Lake. 2 hours later, we arrived at the next lock in Fenelon Falls and went right in. We got lucky again and found 3 spots, this time all with power. Woohoo! Travel day 78. We went 13 nautical miles from Bobcaygeon, Ontario to Fenelon Falls, Ontario. In today's interesting boat information, I wanted to actually show you how we go through locks since we are in the process of going through 43 on the Trent-Severn. I wanted to talk about what you need to know before going into a lock and then how we secure cool beans to a lock wall. And disclaimer, this is the way we do it. This is not to tell you how to do it. Please work with your partner and come up with the best way that's best for you and your boat. First, it's good to know ahead of time what side you will be locking to, meaning port or starboard. Why is this important? Well, you need to be prepared with your lines and fenders placed properly. In the U.S., we would call the lockmaster on the VHF and ask, but in Canada, they told us at Lock 1 that we will tie to starboard all the way through Lock 19, then we could switch to port. Also, the locks in Canada don't use VHF. So we both put on our PFDs, and I head up to the bow with my boat hook. Chris goes slowly into the lock, and we decide which cable I will grab with my hook and hold until Chris can run downstairs, and he'll grab a cable with his boat hook at the stern. He secures it with this, a line in a 4-foot hose piece that he wraps around the cable and ties it off. He will then go turn the engine off, and I will secure my bow line by wrapping it around the cable and loosely tying it to the bow cleat. I will sit and monitor this line the entire time. Sometimes the lines don't move smoothly on the cable, so I'll bring it up with my hook or down with my hook so we're never too tight or too loose. We both monitor our lines until it's time to leave the lock. Then we just repeat the whole process in reverse. Chris will start the engine, release the stern line, and he goes up to the helm. On his signal, I release the bow line and pull it back into the boat, and we're off. Every couple has a similar version of how they lock through, so it's best to just experiment and see what is best for you, your partner, and your boat. Let me know if you have any questions. We left Fenelon Falls early. You can see these super cute boathouses in the bay. Today is a big lock day. Our second lock of the day was the Kirkfield Lock, which is the second largest lift lock to Peterborough, which we did earlier this week. Kirkfield has a 49-foot drop, and yes, I said drop. We're now going to be going down on the Trent-Severn Waterway. This was again a little scary for me too, but super cool to watch. I did time lapses again with both the front view and the rear view. Our original plan was to stop at the Loch 37 Wall. However, being a Canadian holiday weekend, it was full when we arrived. So we just kept going to plan B, which was just wherever we could find a spot. We decided we might have to split up for the night since many loch walls are only big enough for 2 boats, and our flotilla of 3 needs about 140 feet of wall space. Chris and I got stuck behind a broken lock for a bit, so Tranquility and Strumman forged ahead, and with luck and grace, they found a place at the top of Loch 40 for all 3 of us. After a Friday afternoon cocktail, we all retired to our floating condos and had a nice evening. Travel Day 79. We went 23 nautical miles from Fenelon Falls, Ontario to Brock, Ontario. The locks in Canada open at 9 a.m., so since we stayed at our first lock of the day, we couldn't leave until 9. I painted a big rock the night before and left it near our wall. Today we had just 2 locks, then we were in Lake Simcoe. We headed northwest towards Orillia and had a nice smooth trip until we got into Lake Couchiching, then it was amateur hour. The weekend boaters are all out trying to show us how fast they can all go. But we did make it safely to the marina and had a great assistance not only with docking but with check-in. We got great tips, and this marina has free laundry! We will spend 3 nights here and stay put during this Canadian holiday weekend. Port of Orillia Marina for the win! Travel Day 80. We went 18 nautical miles from Brock, Ontario to Orillia, Ontario.
Welcome back aboard Cool Beans. We started the week in Peterborough, Ontario, is that correct?
Yeah.
And we traveled about 100 miles this week. I have no idea how many locks we did. Many.
A bunch. Yeah. Oh, no, it's in the recap. But now I can't remember. It's in the cool stats. I don't know, 20-something?
It was a
I don't
lot.
know, it was a lot.
We did 2 very interesting locks, the Peterborough and the
Kirkfield.
They are lift locks, which are completely different than what we're used to. And we arrived in Orillia. Is that how you pronounce that?
Orillia.
Orillia.
Yep.
And it's just been a great week. Spent 4 nights on the walls at the locks, and then did marinas a couple times, and
Yeah,
it's been a great week.
It's so pretty here in Canada. The waterways are beautiful, and every single lock, excuse me, is well maintained. It's beautiful. The flowers, the landscape, they take very good care of things up here. So we've had a great week.
It's been really enjoyable.
Just had a pancake breakfast courtesy of Yvonne, and Susie brought sausage, and we did a fruit salad, and we just had a lovely breakfast up on our flybridge here on Cool Beans.
It's really nice.
Yep. All right.
What else have you got?
That's it.
Shout out to all friends and family, and please keep the comments coming.
Yep.
Really enjoy those.
Yep.
And we'll see you next week aboard Cool Beans.
Bye.